House will vote on a second pandemic rescue deal that would in part send a new round of stimulus checks to Americans. Reporter Jacqueline Fell explains why the bill likely will not make it out of the House chambers.
The House is expected to vote and pass a $3 trillion rescue deal later today, making it the largest in history. Supporters say it's urgently needed.
Hunger doesn't take a pause, the rent doesn't take a pause, the bills don't take a pause, the hardship of losing a job or tragically losing a loved one doesn't take a pause.
The bill would send another direct payment right to Americans. It would also include funding for state and local governments and coronavirus testing. But the bill was written by only Democrats with no Republican input. It's not likely the Republican-led Senate will even consider it. The White House says the president labeled it dead on arrival. Advisor Kellyanne Conway called it a ridiculous proposal from the House Speaker.
She talks more about cannabis than jobs, manufacturing, or trade. There is money in there for a lot of her pet projects.
Republicans have been wanting to hit pause and wait and see how previous aid packages play out before passing another one and adding to the nation's debt. Reporting outside Washington, Jacqueline Fell, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Jacqueline, thanks a lot. Well, Channel 9 will keep a close eye on today's vote in the House, and we'll let you know where things stand today at 5 o'clock. Well, right now, the Blue Ridge Parkway is back open, allowing you to hike at places like Grandfather Mountain. It's perfect timing with beautiful weather this weekend. Channel 9's Dave Faraday joins us live now. And Dave, there are still some restrictions in place there.
Damani, there are some restrictions, not only along the Blue Ridge Parkway, but here at Grandfather Mountain as well. When I came into the park this morning, they actually took my temperature before allowing me to come up to the swinging bridge area. Take a look at some of this video we shot. I hiked up to the swinging bridge, and we could see some of the workers there who were all wearing masks, had gloves on. They were disinfecting the guardrail up there every 30 minutes. We could also see where they were only sending people across in one direction at a time. A lot of safety precautions here. Down along the Blue Ridge Parkway, they opened the parkway. They opened the gates around 7 this morning in both Avery and Watauga counties. That stretch is one of the most popular in the state, traveling through the Moses Cone area, Price Park, and then across the Lynn Cove Viaduct. It is all open now, but there are some facilities that have not reopened, and some parking areas like the big one at Price Park is still closed. The campgrounds are also off limits as well, but you can get on all the trails here, and that's exactly what a lot of folks were doing this morning.
And all of a sudden I see, oh, the gate's open. Oh, baby, here we go. So here I come in here, and of course the bathrooms are closed, the manor's closed, but that's okay. It was just great to see this open again.
And park rangers are telling me that if you do get to a parking area where one of those trailheads are just jam-packed, to go ahead and keep driving, find another trailhead to keep that social distancing in place. Up here right now, a lot of people are starting to visit with this beautiful weather in place. The temperature here on Grandfather Mountain is 60 degrees or 65 degrees. Keith, what are you seeing down there?
Yeah, it's a little bit warmer here, but I can imagine it just feels great up there, Dave, up in the mountains. That's going to be the case all the way through the weekend as we all get to enjoy just some fantastic weather. Had to bring the weathercast outside on my patio here today. Temperatures around the region, as Dave mentioned, the 60s up there in the mountains, but lower elevations in the high country, getting close to 70 already. Mid-70s now in Charlotte. We're 76, already close to 80. Down into Chesterfield. So throughout the day today, find that time to get outside, warming up in the low 80s for this afternoon. We'll still be well into the 70s as we work our way into this evening. And then as we head our way through the weekend, we're going to get a big push of warmer weather coming in. It's almost going to be like a summer preview with temperatures feeling closer to 90 by the time we head into our Sunday. So not bad at all. Of course, those kind of temperatures make you want to feel like, all right, can we head to the swimming pool? Wouldn't that be nice? All this beautiful weather that we have. Well, on Monday, pools in South Carolina will be opening, but there are concerns. Can everybody stay safe as those pools do begin to reopen? Our meteorologist, Tony Sadiku, is live here this Friday afternoon looking at those issues that will probably come up as the pools begin to open next week. Tony?
Yeah, absolutely, Keith. Pretty sure today is the definition of pool weather. And for folks in South Carolina, public pools like this one at Boyd Hill Rec Center in Rock Hill are going to be allowed to reopen at a limited capacity. That begins on Monday. So let's raise some questions. Can coronavirus spread in pools? Well, according to the CDC, that is not something that there's no evidence of, right? That there's no evidence that COVID-19 can spread in a pool, and chlorine in standard pools would be enough to inactivate the virus. That doesn't mean everyone who wants to jump in a pool will be allowed to. Public pools in South Carolina are still required to follow state guidelines. That includes that public pools can only allow 20% of normal occupancy. Now, pools will also be required to clean commonly used surfaces like handrails and chairs more frequently. The state says they should also consider a phased approach or implementing reservations to limit contact between others, because as we've reported, the virus really is transmitted through droplets when people cough or sneeze and are in close contact. So it's still going to be important to practice social distancing and good hygiene, even in a swimming pool. Damani?
All right, very good advice indeed. Tony Sadico reporting live for us tonight. Thank you so much for that. Well, Amazon says a worker has died from COVID-19 at a distribution center in Indiana. Several employees told the Business Insider the company wasn't doing enough to enforce social distancing measures. The employee who died was last inside work in Jeffersonville, Indiana, April 1st. The company began checking workers there for symptoms 2 days later. Now, we know at least 7 Amazon workers in the Charlotte area have tested positive. Amazon started offering masks and taking workers' temperatures, but employees say those policies aren't being enforced. Amazon has told Channel 9 it put social distancing measures in place. American Airlines isn't flying as many people, so it's ramping up its cargo flights to fill the void. The Dallas News reports American is doubling its cargo flights to 140 per week, especially as demand for goods rises around the world. This is something American hasn't done for 36 years. And we're about a week away from North Carolina possibly entering phase 2, and Mecklenburg County health officials say they expect to be ready. County Health Director Gibby Harris says our trends are stable and we should be in good shape. Phase 2 will bring back gyms, bars, indoor dining, and houses of worship. All will be at limited capacity and will need social distancing measures in place. The county is working on guidance they hope to have ready by next Friday. Harris says some of the restrictions that have been in place can be lifted.
It's unreasonable to think that we are not going to start opening up some. Our economy needs us to open up some. Our individuals need us to open up some.
It's important to remember here the decision on whether to reopen is up to the governor, Roy Cooper. He wasn't clear on whether he will make that announcement next week, but our state data shows we are trending in a very good direction. Well, a Huntersville woman is still recovering from the coronavirus almost 2.5 months after her first symptoms. Listen to this here. Amanda Alexander has now tested positive for the virus twice. She says she tested positive the first time at the end of March and was in the hospital for 3 days. She thought she'd be on the mend after she got out of the hospital, but she developed a cough that would not go away. Alexander ended up getting tested again 2 weeks ago. That test also came back positive.
There's just this expectation that it's 2 weeks and you're good. So I was putting a lot of pressure on myself of why I wasn't better.
Well, after 71 days, she says she's now starting to feel better, but she wants to make sure people know different bodies respond to the virus differently, and it might not go away after a few days. Well, today is National NASCAR Day, and the timing couldn't be better. Racing officially resumes this weekend when the green flag waves at the Darlington Raceway in South Carolina. Driver Brad Keselowski captured the pole yesterday, and the brakes were put on this year's racing season in March as COVID-19 cases spiked. Well, this weekend's Cup race is called the Real Heroes 400 and honors all frontline healthcare workers fighting COVID-19. Darlington Raceway's president says only a handful of people will be allowed inside the raceway.
The teams, the drivers, the fire and safety, a handful of security, and some broadcast people. But outside of that, that's it.
Only essential personnel wearing protective clothing will be allowed in the infield. And check this out. This is pretty cool. To honor healthcare workers, each driver's name will be there on their car. It will be replaced with the name of a healthcare worker.